agenda, we'll vote on 5 judicial nominees, 2 nominees to the U.S. Sentencing Commission, 2 U.S. Attorney nominees, and 1 U.S. Marshal nominee. There's also 1 bill on the agenda that will be held over again, S. 1306, Cops Reauthorization Act. The first nominee we will consider today is Judge Nancy Maldonado, nominated to the U.S. Court of Appeals for the 7th Circuit. In addition to unanimous, well-qualified rating from the ABA, she has the strong support of Senator Duckworth and myself. Judge Maldonado graduated from Harvard, Columbia Law, before clerking for my friend, U.S. District Judge Ruben Castillo on the Northern District. She then began her career at a law firm specializing in plaintiff-side employment, civil rights, and fraud cases. She has also served the people of Cook County as a Special Assistant State's Attorney and the people of Illinois as a Special Assistant Attorney General, tasked in both cases with investigating fraud. In 2022, she was confirmed on a bipartisan basis to the Northern District, became the first Hispanic woman to serve as an Article III judge in Illinois. I want to take a moment to address questions that have been raised concerning the number of motions pending before her. In her nearly 2 years on the bench, Judge Maldonado has presided over almost 1,000 cases, ruled on thousands of motions, and issued approximately 300 substantive decisions. Of the nearly 1,000 cases that have been assigned to her, she has resolved over 650 since October 2022. Notably, she has never been reversed by a reviewing court, not once. To claim that she does not move cases quickly enough ignores how cases have been assigned and resolved in the Northern District. For example, 3 district judges left the Northern District within the first 3 months that she joined the bench, meaning that she received an unusual number of reassigned cases on top of her initial batch of assigned cases. And because district court rules preclude reassigning a case more than once within 12 months, judges who were confirmed after her could not receive many of the cases that had already been assigned to her. Throughout her time on the bench, she's demonstrated a commitment to carefully resolving cases in a way that ensures litigants feel they're being treated fairly in her courtroom, and she's issued opinions that carefully apply law to the facts. I look forward to supporting her nomination. Today, we also vote on the nomination of Georgia Alexakis to the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Illinois, a first-generation American. She was raised in Chicago, attended Harvard and Northwestern Law, clerked on both the 9th Circuit and Northern District of Illinois before beginning her career in private practice. Since 2013, she served as Assistant U.S. Attorney for the Northern District. She was previously in the Office of Civil Rights and Hate Crimes, which required her to work closely with the FBI. She now serves as Chief of Appeals and has spent a significant amount of time litigating before both the Northern District and the 7th Circuit. She'll be a strong addition to the federal bench. With that, I'm turned to Ranking Member Graham and then Senator Grassley for opening remarks.
Senator Grassley,
Let's just come back to Jose Ibarra, if we can. You know who that is? That's a question. You know what he did?
I know what he's accused of doing.
Which is?
Murdering a young woman.
And that wasn't the first crime that he committed in this country, was it?
Senator, as I've articulated previously, I'm not going to speak about the facts of the case because there is an ongoing criminal investigation.
Have you read his parole file?
Senator, same answer.
So you're not going to say whether or not you've read the parole file? I've got it right here. Have you read this?
Senator, I do not want to speak to the particulars of the case given the pending criminal prosecution.
Now, I find this interesting because this is a new answer today. You've changed your answers all over the map on this, and it looks like to me you just don't want to answer the question. 2 days ago, you were asked about this in the House Homeland Security Committee. I've got the transcript right here in front of me. You were asked the same question. Jose Ibarra, why was he paroled? You said, I don't know. You said, I don't know. I don't have the case details with me today. Congressman Bishop says, you don't know? And you said, I don't know. I don't have the details with respect to that individual's case, but I would be pleased to provide them to you, Congressman. You didn't know 2 days ago. Now, interestingly, on April the 10th, 6 days before that, you gave Senator Katie Britt a different answer. She asked you the same question. She said, why was Jose Ibarra paroled into the United States? You said, and I quote, Ranking Member Britt, there was no derogatory information of which we were aware. So you were happy to comment on the case then on April the 10th. By April the 16th, you had developed amnesia, and today you say you just won't comment. So which is it, Mr. Secretary? Now that we have the file, I'll tell you what the difference is. Congressman Bishop didn't have the parole file, and Senator Britt didn't have the parole file, and now we do have the parole file. And now we all know that the reason he was paroled into this country was because lack of detention capacity, which, as you and I both know, is not a valid reason under the statute. And now that we know that for sure, this is right out of the parole file. Here it is. Subject was paroled due to detention capacity at the Central Processing Center in El Paso, Texas. Now suddenly you don't want to talk about it. This is extraordinary. It's also a pattern with you. So let me just try one more time. Have you read the parole file?
Senator, I'm going to give the same answer, and let me say it.
Well, which one? Are you going to give me the answer you gave to Senator Britt? Or are you going to give the answer you gave to Congressman Bishop? Or the answer you gave to Senator Paul? Or do you want to try a fourth one?
Senator, I will not speak to the particulars of the case, given the pending criminal prosecution.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. Well, you certainly, of course you don't want to, because it is an absolutely damning indictment of your policies. Let's just review Jose Barrera and how he came to be here. On September the 8th, 2022, he was encountered by United States Border Patrol in El Paso, Texas, and was paroled into the United States due to lack of detention capacity. A provision, a proviso, a rule that is not permitted under the statute. You and I both know you know this. You knew it when you were talking to Congressman Bishop. You knew it when you were testifying to Senator Britt, and you know it today. You just never wanted to cop to it, because the statute doesn't permit it. And so you lied to Congressman Bishop and you lied to Senator Britt. And now you are hiding behind the ongoing prosecution excuse because it's the last one left to you, because you testified falsely under oath. Then on July 19th, 2023, Ibarra reports for a biometric appointment and was fingerprinted. This is now in New York. The results come back and indicate he has a criminal history. So he's in this country, he has a criminal history. September 14th, he is arrested in New York by NYPD for what? Injuring a child. September 14th, 2023, he is arrested for injuring a child. What happens? The offense was never prosecuted and the arrest was expunged. I'm reading right out of the parole file. Expunged. Nothing is done to this guy. He had a criminal record to start with. He's in the country on illegal grounds. You have falsely and illegally allowed him in. He commits a crime against a child. He's not prosecuted. It's expunged. In November, get this, in November, Ibarra files an application for employment authorization. And unbelievably, on December the 9th, 2023, it's approved. So this is your policies in action, Mr. Secretary. A criminal is permitted into this country on grounds flatly not permitted, flatly contradictory to the statute. He commits a crime against a child, and then he gets a work permit. He gets a work permit. You want to know why all of the jobs in the last 2 or 3 years have gone to illegal migrants? Working people in this country can't get a job. Their unemployment rate's high. Why? Because of things like this. And then what's he do? Well, we all know. Then in February, he commits the heinous crime against Laken Riley. Is this a record that you are proud of?
Senator, you've misstated some facts.
I have read from the parole file, which you have said you don't recall, don't have, you miscited. I'm reading from it. It is right here. And I've just, pursuant to the speech and debate clause, I have just read it into the record. And the reason is, you have lied repeatedly to Congress and to the American people about this. They deserve to know. And the only way they're going to know is if I tell them. I've just told them. It's in the record now. I've read it verbatim from the parole file. Verbatim. I just want to know, why did you change your story so often? Why didn't you just answer honestly to Congressman Bishop and Senator Britt?
Senator, I am confident that justice will be vindicated in the criminal prosecution of the case.
Well, hopefully he'll get more of a trial than you got. Otherwise, there'll be no justice for anyone at all.